Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field. And then there was one. We started last Sunday anticipating 9 games in the 2018 Agganis All-Star Week. We finished 8 of them, and we're down to the last one. North and South. North in the blue, South in the white. North is going to kick it off. And this is the first time I can remember that they split up the schools. St. Mary's and Lynn Tech are on the north, English and Classical are on the south. And the first time we'll have 2 Lynn coaches, head coaches. James Runner, very successful, winning a vocational state championship, winning 12 games last year. And Chris Carroll from Lynn English went 10-1 on the year, just missed going to a Super Bowl from the 10-yard line. Straight up field, getting across the 35. Jeffrey Rodriguez of Salem brought it out, and they give him out to the 36. First and 10 for the South. And they go spread right away. Double wideouts to either side. The quick out and hit and dropped. They're going to call it complete for a loss. So they lost a yard on the play. Now they send 5 wideouts. Nobody in the backfield with the quarterback. 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Now motion coming over. They split everybody out. Looking. Going to get hit and dropped. Matthew Woodlight is the quarterback. He got sacked back to the 28. So they've lost 8 in 2 plays. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 from the 28. Rolling to the near side, looking downfield. Lets it fly long and deep. It's caught behind the defense and going to walk in for a touchdown. "72 yards on the pass play." And it was Jeffrey Ingrando of Malden Catholic with the catch. He went up and took it away from a defender. When he got it, he was behind everybody and just walked in for the touchdown. They go for 2 and they don't get it. So it took them just shy of 2 minutes. A minute 53 it took them. And now the North will see what they can do. This is the 57th anniversary of this Agganis football game. This was the granddaddy. This was the only one that was played for the first 23 years. And then along came baseball. The first was played in 1956 and was played on the first Sunday in December. And they played through 58, and then in 59, the headmasters put a moratorium on you couldn't play the games except in the summer, and they already had the polio all-star game during the summer, so the game didn't take place again until 64. It's had a few homes. 1983 and 85 through 85 they played in Wakefield. 2005 through 2007 they played in Salem. And the teams have bounced around. It was up until 1980 it was north and south. 1981 it changed to east and west. And then 1998 it changed back to north and south. At the 10-yard line, down the sideline, pretty good return. Near the 30, maybe across the 30. And we got a penalty against the North on the kick. It's going to push him back. They're going to push it back to the 16-yard line. Here, he gave me the upscale version. He gave me the updated. He's not here. Paul Howard gave me this.
Where's the other team? Right here. 22, Calvin Johnson. That's who just fielded that kick, number 22. I didn't see his helmet to see who he said.
So Johnson with the first carry got across to the 28. Pickup of 12 and a first down. Now Keone Gaskin from Tech with the carry gets to the 30. Picked up 2. It'll be second down and 8. Two wideouts to the near side. Full house backfield. One wideout to the far side. Looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Over the middle, it's caught. Down the sideline, he goes out of bounds. It's coming back, I think. There's a flag on the play. They threw a flag down when the quarterback was running around. That's going to be a hold against the North. That's a shame. So instead of being down around the 30-yard line of the South, they're going to be inside the 20, or right about the 20. So it's going to be second and 18. And we're waiting for that sun to go down so we can see, because it shines right in the face of the press box and the fans on the press box side. They double the wideouts to either side. Justin Mullaney is the quarterback, dropping back, looking over the middle, picked off at the 45-yard line. inside the 20. Tyshawn Anderson of English. He gets it to the 18-yard line. A 27-yard return by Tyshawn Anderson. They try to run it straight ahead and get very little, maybe a couple. Vincent Gaskins with the carry. So they got to the 16 for a pickup of 2. 2nd and 8. They go double wing now. Looking to get to the outside. Almost broke it. Going to get a first down. I think that was Anthony Murphy. He's not the best numbers to try and pick up. So it'll be first and goal. Trying to push him in. They're signaling touchdown. Now the official signals touchdown. Vincent Gaskins. So the South has run 6 plays and scored 2 touchdowns. They convert on the interception by Tyshawn Anderson of English. Now they go double wing again. They give it to the fullback, tucks his head, and he's in. Eric Tomeo from Peabody. That makes it 14-0. With just over 5 minutes left to play here in this first period. The South jumping out very quickly. And that's something that Chris Carroll did last year. He ran out wide receivers everywhere. Sometimes the quarterback, who was Matt Severance, who will be again this year, would be by himself. Sometimes they have a running back with him. And then at the end of the season last year, he was going to double wing quite a bit in English's offense, and it worked very well for him. So now we've had English, Peabody, and Salem all involved, along with Murphy of Linfield. So everybody getting in the act, and the South will kick it off again as they've jumped out very quickly to a 14-0 lead with a lot of football left to play. We mentioned again the 57th annual Agganis football game, the Granddaddy, the last game of the week. All these young guys jumped on a bus on Wednesday, went into Fenway Park for Agganis night at Fenway Park when they honored Harry Agganis and put a plaque up. Matt Durgan, who was the football game director, was on the bus with those guys. At the 8-yard line, down the far sideline with a head of steam up, that's Calvin Johnson, again with a nice return. St. Mary's. Across the 35 to the 36. This is almost like Thanksgiving in reverse. It used to be Tech and St. Mary's Thanksgiving Eve. Those guys are on the north. And of course, the granddaddy English and classical playing on Thanksgiving Day, they combine on the south. So English and classical getting to play with each other, as is Tech and St. Mary's. And that's what's good about these games. These kids have practiced during the week. Players that they've played against all their 4 years of school may have had a little animosity toward them because they couldn't beat them or missed a tackle, or they found out they've got some very good kids. A lot of great friendships are made from this long week, Agganis week. The pitch coming to the near side, trying to turn the corner, not going to get around the corner, and that's Calvin Johnson. And if they're lucky, they only lost a yard. Second and 11 from the 35. And still waiting for that sun to go down. It's people on the far side in the stands don't have to worry about it. It's at their backs. People on the press box side, people up here in the press box, are trying to see. 2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. Full house backfield. And it's now Colin Freary from Swampscott as the quarterback. Looking, over the middle, caught, and that'll be enough for a first down. Freary, Stefan Gravely from Tech. First and 10, 11-yard pickup. They'll hold on to it. And we'll be closing in on 4 minutes when they snap the ball here in the first period. Freary had an outstanding career at Swampscott, threw an awful lot of touchdown passes. Now they double up the wideouts on either side. Handoff straight ahead, banging off a couple of would-be tacklers. Stefan Gravely with the carry.
Once again, number 31, Stefan Gravely on the carry.
2nd and 7. A yard shy of midfield. With 3.5 left in this first period. A quick start for the South, getting 14 consecutive points. 1 on a turnover by Tyshawn Anderson of Lynn English. Set up the second one. A long touchdown on 3rd and very long. They hooked up for a 72-yard pass play. Freary in trouble. Gets grabbed and gets a yard to midfield. So I'm looking at the stakes. The stakes are only 9 yards long. One stake is at the 46. The other stake is right at the 45. That's only 9 yards. They picked up 4 yards in the 2 plays. It should be 3rd and 6. Instead, it's 3rd and 5. So let's see if the North can take advantage of that. Double wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. Freary's got company in the backfield. Looking to throw. Dumps it underneath, short, and they're going to wind up with a first down. That's Keone Gaskin. That's Swampscott to Tech. They get to, we'll call it the 42 of the South. 8 yards
Pretty good for a North first down.
and a first down.
10, the ball just at the South 41.
And magically, the stakes have turned into 10 yards. If Paul Halloran was here, he'd be laughing at me because the ball is right between the 41 and 42, my favorite spot. That's why you can't possibly have a picture-perfect stat sheet. Some call it the 41, some call it the 42. I always say if you don't get to the 41, you don't get it. Ferry looking to throw again. Stepping up, looking, in trouble, gets wrapped up and gets sacked. I think it was Patrick Sweetenham knocked him down.
75 of Neil Rossi.
They lost 3 on the play. And if they hurry, they'll get the play off, and it'll probably be the last play of the first period. Second down and 13. And this will be the last play. Double wideouts to either side. Looking to throw. In trouble again. Lets it fly long. Almost caught. Stefan Gravely almost made a great play. He went up, got his hands on it, tried to stay in bounds, and it's incomplete. Ishmael Johnson from Classical had the coverage, wouldn't let him get inside. And that ends the first period. So a quick start by the South. They scored in the first possession. A big 72-yard pass play from Matthew Mortalet of Linfield to Joffrey Ingrando of Malden Catholic. And they take advantage of a Deshaun Anderson interception. And they go 18 yards in 3 plays. Vincent Gaskins runs it in from the 5. DeMeo took care of the 2-point conversion. That's where we are. The South 14, the North nothing at the end of 1. Stay with it. That's what we're teaching. He's been doing this all year long. All right, stay with it. Jumped on Steve in the item the other day. Nobody knows it, but he wrote the story about the Swampscott Little League. He wrote Swampscott won 10-0 in a shortened 5-inning game.
Yeah.
Swampscott scored 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th in a shortened 5-inning game. So the next day they put in correction. They didn't score 3 in the 6th. It only went 5 innings. Which didn't make him look too good. You going?
So was it 5 innings or 6 innings?
Third and long as we start the second period. Frary in trouble again. Gets out of trouble. Flag on the play. Almost picked off. I think they'll forego the flag. Jason Danzy of Linfield broke it up. Now, the flag was against, I thought it was against the South for holding. It's against the North. And they're going to move it down to the 30-yard line. gives the North the first down at the South 30 or big break. In the backfield, right away you think holding with Ferry in trouble trying to run around. The pass is incomplete. And they wind up throwing the flag on the South, and they get a first down at the 30-yard line. So the drive stays alive here in this one play into the second period. Into the backfield. What a sacking him on the play.
Number 9, James Brumfield on the carry. He was tackled for a loss by number 37, Howie Burns.
37, Howie Burns of Monmouth Catholic get in before they handed it off.
Loss of 3 will be 2nd and 13.
Boy, lose 3. 2nd and 13. Full house backfield with double wideouts to one side, the near side, one to the far side. Ferry looking, in trouble again, takes off and runs with it, and does a pretty good job getting down to about the 25. So he got a little more than half of them. And I'm sure they're in obviously 4-down territory at the 25. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Tackled by number 40, Tyler Skeffington.
The shadows are extending a little bit further. The sun just has to go down behind those trees over in the cemetery back there. A picturesque spot with all the trees surrounding this place. The double wideouts go to the far side this time. Calvin Johnson with a straight on snap. That was a run play all the way. Johnson went in at quarterback. He did that a lot for St. Mary's when he moved to quarterback. He picks up the first down. As he gets to the 9, he picked up 16. First and goal. No, he got to the 14-yard line. So he picked up 11. So it's 1st and 10 from the 14. He went out of bounds, stopping the clock with 8:44 left in the half. Again, they fill the backfield. Calvin Johnson in it as the quarterback spot. They were going to throw it back to Johnson, and they couldn't do it. And they turn it on. That's a great job.
Number 31, Stephen Gravely on the carry. Stop by number 21, Jeffrey Rodriguez.
Stephon Gravy was supposed to throw that back to Calvin Johnson. When he couldn't, he took off and ran with it. And he got down to the 4-yard line. He picked up 10.
First and goal for the North, ball at the South 4.
So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 4. He just went straight ahead, bounced off a couple of people. You understand now we average almost 2,000 yards a year for Tech. They run it straight ahead, ducking their head, and they get a yard at best, I think. We're going to get a timeout. Next play will be the 13th play of the drive. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. Trying to cut into that 14-0 South lead. Well,
Please have nobody standing in the front row along the fence. Please find it.
South has only run 6 plays in the game. 2 of those were for minus yards. But that long touchdown pass from Waterlet of Linfield to Ingrando of Marlin Catholic, and then turning the Deshaun Anderson interception into the 5-yard run by Vincent Gaskins. And that made it 14-0 after DeMeo took care of the 2-point conversion. So we're back to football. Now they go power I in the backfield. Ducking their head and slamming into the end zone.
And number 32, Keone Gaskin up the middle for a
Lynn Tech, Keone Gaskin.
touchdown carry. Number 32, Keone Gaskin.
And they're going to look. Now we got a flag on the play. Against the North, they're going to try and kick the point. Mulaney is the holder. I think it's Patrick Sweetenham from the prep. That's the kicker. And he knocks it through. So they cut it in half with just under 8 minutes left in this first half. And the North will kick it off. The local kids are Jamie James of Lynn Tech and Marcus Taylor of Lynn Tech, Calvin Johnson, James Brunfield of St. Mary's, Stefan Gravely, Keone Gaskins of Tech, Marion Scott, who's wearing Harry Agganis, number 33, and Josue Pena of Lynn Tech, and Aaron Burris of St. Mary's. On the other side, Adam Washington of Lynn Classical, Tyshawn Anderson of Lynn English, Ishmael Johnson, Lynn Classical, Stravinsky Gascon, that's Ski Gaston of English, Matt Gisono wearing Harry Agganis 33 of Classical, Jacob Miller of Lynn English, Alex Rodriguez of Lynn English, Ahmad Jolasso of Classical, and Emil Rossi of Lynn English as they kick it off. Back at the 11-yard line. And across the 25. I think it was Nick Kinnon of Linfield.
Kick was fielded by number 21, Jeffrey Rodriguez. Immediately back to number 8. Nick Kinnon
They put it at,
to about the 29, where he was stopped by number 9,
we'll call it the 29.
James Brumfield.
Just shy of the 29-yard line. They go to the spread, double wideouts to either side. Motion coming to the near side. They dump it out, and now they throw the pass wide open downfield. Stepping around the defender, he's going to walk in. And they're going to get a penalty against the South for unsportsmanlike as he stepped over a defender. But they ran, Chris Carroll runs a little razzle-dazzle, and then Grando again. 71 yards on the first down. That's 143 yards and 2 carries. I think he knows there's an MVP award. So it didn't take him long to get that touchdown right back. And there's going to be a penalty against the South because Ingrando intentionally stepped over the defender who was down. And you don't want to do that. It may be on the kickoff rather than the extra point. So they hit the trifecta. Matthew Mordelite from Linfield threw it off to Jovan Harding, who's another quarterback from Cambridge. It went 9-7 to 80. So they went 72 yards on the first pass play. They go 71 yards in this pass play. They've only run 7 plays and they scored 3 touchdowns. The South has 10 yards rushing. They have 143 yards passing, and they've only completed 2 passes, both for touchdowns. So right now, Chris Carroll has the edge over James Runner, the head coaches. Both of them played in this game in the past. Both coaches coming off a great season. They both won their conference championships. They both went deep in the tournament. English almost went to the Super Bowl. A last-second score here at Manning Field cost them. Tech also got knocked off late, but then came back and won 2 games to win the vocational state championship. The pitch off the right side and in. I think that's Vincent Gaskins rushing in.
2-point conversion run by number 30. Vincent Gaskins is good. Score with 7:12 to go in the first half is now South 22, North 7.
So even though the North has scored, the South adds to their lead. It was 14 before the North scored. South gets it right back. They go for 2. They made both, or 2 of their 3, but they made their last 2 2-point conversions. And now they lead it by 15, 22-7, with just over 7 minutes left. As I mentioned before, the penalty will come on the kickoff, the unsportsmanlike conduct. So they'll be kicking from the 25-yard line. So that will give a break to the North. And the shadow was almost It's covered most of the field, but it's still up over the trees, so it's still in the faces of people on the press box side. South will kick it off. And a little squib kick. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Scooping it up was Quest Tyler Lacey of Swampscott. Caught it in the air. And North is going to get very good field position. I'm not sure if that was by design or mistake. But the North is going to start at the south 36-yard line. Just over 7 minutes left in this first half. A big one for the South. And in the series, South is looking for their 35th win. They have to go back and switch it back and forth. They were North and South. They were the Northeast Conference kids were the North first. Then when they're East and West, they went back to, they were the East. Slipping a tackle, slipping another tackle, and slipping one more and almost going into the end zone. Calvin Johnson with the catch. They had him 3 or 4 times. They've been doing that for 4 years. He gets down to the 6. Picked up 20 on the pass play and a first down. So North trying to cut into that lead. They'd like to get it down. They get the ball to start the second half. Hit almost immediately when he had the football. Back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. Under 6 now left in the game. Second and goal. Anna Maria College is where Calvin Johnson is going. They're getting a good one. He was a very good basketball player, too. He decided not to play. He was hurt his junior year and didn't come back in, and they decided not to play his senior year. They could have used him. Very good player. Very good athlete. Now they go power I with one wide out to the near side. They try to run it straight ahead. They're going to get down to about the 2. I think that was DeMail. They actually put it at the 3. So 3rd and 3 from the 3. Again, they go power I. Off the right side, they stack him up. He doesn't get in. It's going to be a big 4th down. That was Gravely with the carry. We'll call it the 1. And it's going to be 4th down and a yard. They send the wide out to the far side. You can forget about him. They go power I. Gravely is the deep man. They give it to Gravely. They stack him up. He didn't get in.
Once again, Gravely stopped short of the goal line.
No gain on the play. That's a big play for the South. They hold on to that 15-point lead, and they shut them down. So the little onside kick, whether by mistake or intentional, almost cost them. It wound up with a 4th and 1, and the South defense comes up huge. So at the 1-yard line, South will try to run it out. Javon Harding of Cambridge is the quarterback. We've got people from everywhere here. Cambridge, Salem, Linfield, Peabody, Wakefield, Arlington Catholic, Hamilton, Wenham, Beverly, Danvers. A who's who of high school players. They run it straight ahead and they break it. Eric DeMeo almost took that to the house.
44, Eric DeMeo up the middle. For a big South game. Ball taken to the
Out to the 25. He picked up 24 yards. That's a huge play. It gets them away from their 1-yard line, gives them some breathing room. Now they go double wing. Swinging to the right side. And that's Gaskins, I believe.
South carry number 30, Vincent Gaskins.
He picks up a first down.
Played good for a South first down. Will be 1st and 10. Ball
Back-to-back first downs. 2.5 and counting. They stay in that double wing. Coming to the near side, cutting it up inside, they get 5 or 6. Anthony Murphy from Linfield. Second and 4. As we're at the final 2 minutes, we'll get the 2-minute warning. Let's see if Chris Carroll is content with 15 points or if he tries to get it in. Hard to run it in from here. He stays in the double wing. Little reverse, and they throw him forward for about 3 yards. And that's Murphy again. Second and 7. As we're approaching a minute and a half. They give it to Gaskins. Ducks his head. Barrels ahead. They'll stop the clock with the first down.
Vincent Gaskins on the carry. Played good for a South first down.
Pickup of 3.
Ball at their own.
The clock is running. They'll be under a minute when they snap the football. No, they're not taking any chances. They've got a couple of guys back deep. Now they go to the spread. Double wideouts to either side. They throw it deep, picked off at the 37-yard line. Still on his feet, looking for a block. That's Marion Scott, I believe, from St. Mary's, wearing 33. Or it might be Matt Smith from Gloucester, wearing 30. So the North will have one or two more shots. They've got a couple of timeouts.
Pass was intercepted by number 88, Zach Hillman. Return to the 45 where he was stopped by number 1 into another flag on play. It will be first and 10 for the North. Ball at
First and 10 from the 45. You're looking down the near sideline. They're going the near sideline. Every time they've thrown the ball to the near sideline, it's been a touchdown. That time it got picked off. "39 seconds showing on the clock. High snap, looking to throw. In trouble. Lets it fly. Caught in traffic. They stopped the clock with the first down, I believe.
Lay's pass complete to number 22,
Calvin Johnson with the catch.
by number 21, Jeffrey Rush.
And we got a first down.
Fleetwood for North first down.
Calvin Johnson had a very good first half. "28 seconds showing on the clock. That was a catch. That wasn't easy. He was in traffic. He was surrounded by a few white shirts, and he went up, used his body nice to get in between and get it. Didn't have any time to run anywhere. They took him down immediately. But just as well because they saved some time on the clock. They burned a timeout. Three wideouts to the near side, one to the far side. Stepping up, letting it fly, long and deep for the end zone, too far.
Pass intended to number 26, Cam Peach, incomplete.
That's only our second incomplete pass, and both on the north side. 19 seconds left. They're looking to go deep, so if they get an incompletion, they might get an interference call. South is just putting their heads down, going after the quarterback. They know they're not going to run the ball. Mulaney is the quarterback. Takes the high snap. In trouble. Lets it fly over the middle. It's caught. Looking for the end zone. Going to get knocked out of bounds with 8 seconds left. That's Stephon Gravely.
Lay's pass complete to number 31, Stephen Gravely. He took it down to the 2-yard line.
Well, the North has a pulse. The ball's at the 2. "32 yards on the play. 6 seconds showing on the clock. And we're going to get a timeout call by the North. They were down here on 4th and 1 and got stuffed. They'd love to get in and cut that into that 15-point lead and then get the ball to start the second half. South would like to hold on to that 15-point lead, and that was Gravely wide open in the middle, and Justin Mulaney from Danvers, who's going with my granddaughter to Curry College, I'll have to introduce him to my granddaughter. He ran around and had enough time and somehow great presence of mind to find Gravely right over the middle. Gravely made a couple of nice shake and bake moves to get loose. Almost took it in the end zone. Just got knocked out of bounds at the 2. And managed to keep time on the clock, 6 seconds. So I don't know if they have another timeout or not. I think they do. They're hoping they don't need it. South's trying to make another big-time defensive play. Fans are getting their money's worth with this one. Here we go. Power eye again. They bang it in this time. They went to the up man. They didn't go to the deep man. I don't know if that was Keone Gaskin or not.
58, Franco Albatessa takes it up the middle for a long touchdown.
(22-13). They fake the kick, and they're not going to get it. They knock them down. They fake kicking the extra point. Matt Brockelman from Masconomet tried to run it. So South sees the North get back, but it's still a 2-score lead. It's 22-13. The South getting off very quickly, those 14, answering North's first touchdown. Now, thanks to Stephon Gravely's great catch and run, the North is able to cut it to 9 points. But as I mentioned, it's still a conversion, 2-score game. It's the South 22, the North 13 at halftime.
Oh, you don't know what newspaper?
Welcome back to Manning Field as we're set to start the second half. South holding on to a 2-score lead. They lead at 22-13. North got a little bit of momentum, scoring on the last play of the half. They missed a 2-point conversion trying to finagle one. They kick a ground ball. It rolls all the way inside the 30. And they're going to wind up knocking the ball carrier down at about the 25-yard line. I'm going to put it outside the 25 at the 27-yard line. In that first half, Joffrey Ingrano from All Catholic had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns and 143 yards. And Vincent Gaskins ran for 20. On the other side, Calvin Johnson ran for 22, caught 2 passes for 30. Stephon Gravely from Tech had 15 yards rushing, caught 2 passes for 43, and set up that last touchdown that got them close. Now a break, and there's Johnson staying in bounds. What a great move. Outstanding run by Calvin Johnson. To the South 33, that's 50 yards. That gives him 72 yards rushing. Actually, it's 40 yards. And it gives him 62 yards rushing. So right off the bat, North is on the move. One play. Freary looking over the middle. Overshot the intended receiver. Tad Coakley was the intended receiver. I think that was Tayshawn Anderson who was the nearest one to the play. He already has an interception that set up a touchdown. 2nd and 10. They hand off. Gravely gets short yardage. Picked up a yard. Second and 9. 3rd and 9, excuse me. I forgot about the incomplete pass. 3rd and 9 from the south 32-yard line. And now North is forced to take a timeout. They were taking a lot of time in the huddle and a little too much time. We mentioned Chris Carroll from the English last year, 10-1. You have to go back a long way for English to have 10 wins in a season. And you have to go back a long way for the city of Lynn to have 40 wins. St. Mary's, English both had 10 wins. Lynn Tech led the way with 12. And even Classical, Brian Vaughn did a great job with the Classical team. You have to go back a way for Classical to have 8 wins. They were 8-3, and they made the tournament. (40-6) the Lynn teams went last year. Not bad when you spread all that talent out. And that doesn't include Marlin Catholic and Fenwick and St. John's Prep. They're going to throw it. They step back. They let it fly. Stepping in front of the defense and making the catch. They threw it up there with 3 defenders. That was Cordell Parrish of Arlington Catholic throwing it. 26 yards and a first down. Who made the catch? Trying to come to the near side, couldn't. James Brumfield from St. Mary's has made that catch for 26 yards. James has had an outstanding career at St. Mary's, especially this last year, running the football and also outstanding in track. Was a state champion. They picked up a yard to the 5. They've used up almost 4 minutes. 2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. Freary is surrounded in the backfield, the quarterback. They give it to Johnson. A little shake and bake. Stays in his feet. Gets an extra yard.
North carry number 22, Calvin Johnson.
Calvin do what he does best. Having people miss. He got down to the 2, picked up 3 more. Third and goal from the 2. They stay in the spread. They run straight ahead with Gravely, and he gets into the end zone.
And number 31, Stephen Gravely takes it up the middle for a North touchdown.
Now, it doesn't really make that much difference. North doesn't have a kicker, so they're not going to look for a field goal. So, 1 point, 2 points, I should say, it does make a difference. If they kick the extra point, a field goal could get them a win. I forgot they do have the kicker at South that went for 2 all the time. And I believe it's Zach Dillon of Danvers. He's the kicker. He was outstanding for Danvers.
Zach Dillon's extra point is good.
And all of a sudden,
Score with 6
it's 22-20.
now South 22, North 20.
So the cheese gets a little more binding. They took almost 5 minutes off the clock. .6:21 left in the third period. And at North getting that last play touchdown, ending the half to get back within 22-13. And now they come out speaking fire. Calvin Johnson runs for 40 to get them down close. And then his partner from St. Mary's, James Bunfield, makes a great catch in traffic to get them down to the 6. And then Lynn Tech, Stefan Gravely takes it in from the 2. And by the way, that I didn't mention it, but that last touchdown, Franco Abatessa from Danvers, a lineman, went into the backfield to block, and they gave him the ball at the 17-yard line. Cutting it upfield and getting to about the 30.
It was fielded by number 20, Tyson Anderson. Taking up to his 30-yard line. Here he starts.
He's showing Anderson with the return to the 30. And that's where the South will put it in play. More to light from Linfield. It's going to St. Lawrence. That's a pretty good trip. 3 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. The handoff, they try to run straight ahead, they get knocked down. Murphy with the carry. Didn't pick up anything. So now old Mr. Momentum has switched over and is now wearing a blue shirt.
24 is from Murphy on the carry.
The last thing the South wants to do is turn it over in 4 downs. Actually 3 downs. To the South. With all the momentum they got going. We're halfway through this third period. Motion coming to the near side. Looking, has time, lets it fly long and deep. He's got a man there. In and out of the hands. They had it and couldn't hold on. Hi, Sean Anderson beat the defense. He was there. Mordelite put it right on his hands, and he couldn't hold on. He had a touchdown. Perfect throw by Mordelite. And it's easy for me to say, but Anderson is running downfield. Not the easiest thing in the world to look over your shoulder running downfield, trying to hold on to that ball at the same time, wondering if you're going to get hit because a couple of blue shirts bearing down on him. So a big play here, 3rd and 10. They double the wideouts to either side. Now they send motion to the far side. And they snap it over the quarterback's head, and he's going to fall on it, and here comes even more momentum now. All the way back to the 13-yard line. They lost 17 yards. So the game has changed completely around. And now the North is going to get, without a run back, they'll get good position. With a run back, they could get great field position. The kick is going to come from close to the 5-yard line. Low snap. They just get it away. And it's going to be even worse than that. They don't need a run back. Out at the 24-yard line.
Until out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Where it will be 1st and 10 for the North.
So a huge break for the North. Their first chance to take the lead in the game. 1st and 10 from the South 24. Johnson almost took it home. He's inside the 10.
The 22 Calvin Johnson on the carry.
Picks up 13 more. He's closing in on 100 yards.
Gain of 11 on the play. It will be 1st and goal. Ball at the 9.
Coming to the near side, little shift. And that's Johnson again.
Once again, Calvin Johnson on the carry.
Down to the 2.
21, Jeffrey Rodriguez.
Slipping and falling is Gravely. From the 3. 3rd and goal. And remember, they have the kicker, Dylan. If they need it, he's kicked a couple of extra points. He would have had 3, but they faked the other one, and he didn't get it. So this would be a piece of cake for Dylan. They go power I in the backfield. And they run it in.
Once again, it's Franco Abatessa for the North touchdown. Flag on the play.
The penalty, the official said he waved the penalty off because it was against the South, but it wasn't. It's against the North. So they're bringing it back.
It's most likely.
It's a big one.
It's most likely.
All the way out to the 18. Now the touchdown stands. The conversion is going to come from here.
It's most likely.
So the North has grabbed a 4-point lead. It was all Chris Carroll coaching in the first half. Now it's all James Runner. They got a big break with that short punt. They only had to go 24 yards. It did take them 4 plays. Johnson picking up 20 of the 24. Over the middle. Incomplete. They almost knocked it down. They almost completed it. So with 1:19 left in the third period, the South has only run 3 plays, and one was a snap that went over the quarterback's head. The other 2 were 0 plays. Minus 17 in the 3 plays they ran. That's the second touchdown for Franco Abatessa of Davis. I don't think on his way over to Manning Field, I don't think he was ever going to even consider him scoring 2 touchdowns and giving his team the lead. So 3 straight scores, 1 on the last play of the half, and now 2 straight plays in this third period. So they get across the 30-yard line. Joe Kamara from Medford with the return. Running to the right side. That's Gaskins. Picking up about 4. from the spread. They run it straight ahead, and they're going to. There was a pile up on the 40-yard line, but the football was back at the 37. Here's Gaskin, gets loose. They're going to knock him out. He picks up a big first down for the South. He goes from his 33 to the North 33, and that's the end of the period. That's 34 yards and a first down. So 26-22, the North leads the South with 1 period of football left. Damien, go ahead. Banging ahead for an extra yard. And that's Murphy, I believe. Second and 6 from the 29. And we got a stoppage. They're giving a warning to the South sideline. And I guess they gave him a warning before, because they're going to mark off some yardage. And it's a big 15 yards. Out to the 44. North at halftime had 132 yards, 51 rushing, 81 passing. They now have 119 rushing, 107 passing, 12 first downs. Cutting to the outside with a head of steam, and then gets pushed back. Ski Gaston. With the carry. Gets it to the 38. He picked up 6. They still got it. They need 5 more to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Trying to turn the corner. Wrapped up and knocked down. I think the first guy that got him was Aiden Gillis with Marblehead. They lost 3 on the play. 4th down, they're going to have to kick it away. Boy, look golden for South the way they started. Those 2 big pass plays, up 14-0. North scored. They got it right back. Got a 15-point lead. The kick is away. And they took a chance catching that. They didn't fair catch it. They caught it. Now a flag comes in at the end. Another flag comes in at the end. I don't know if North is going to get a break. They were going to be pinned very deep. I can't imagine how the receiver of the punt could be getting this 15-yard penalty. So they get a huge break. They were going to start at the 10-yard line. Instead, they'll start at the 25. .8:40 left in the game. 26-22 the North. It's been all North since the last play of the first half. That interception by Matt Smith of Gloucester gave them that boost, and they've been building on it ever since. Tackled from behind after a yard gain. And it's Gravely with the carry.
Stephen Gravely on the carry.
Full house backfield with Freya. Hit in the backfield and dropped. That was Calvin Johnson.
22 Calvin Johnson on the carry.
He lost 2. So a very big third down. The clock is running. They'll be closing in on 7 minutes when they snap the football. And it's a 4-point lead for the North. They need 11. They fake, they punt, they throw it deep. Incomplete. For a minute they thought they had it. Perry put it out there, and between 2 defenders, they almost made a great catch. They were looking for interference. They're still looking for it. They're not going to get it. So the North is going to have to kick it for the first time. And the South is going to have to get a little giddy up in their step if they want to get back on this one. They trail by 4. Standing back at the 10, they'll get the kickoff close to the 15. They get it away. It's a good one. At the 35-yard line. And pretty good return by Jeffrey Rodriguez of Salem. So they'll have decent field position and plenty of time on the clock. They're just shy of midfield.
He was tackled by number 31, Stephen Gravely. It will be first and 10 to the South.
I thought the way the South was celebrating, there might have been a flag on the play. At the 49. So they're 51 yards away from a go-ahead score. The North, 6:44 left from a big win. A big comeback win. They go to the spread. 3 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. They let it fly deep. Picked off. The free safety came over Matt Smith gets his second pick.
Ball spotted at the 15 of the North, where it will be first and
They beat the defender down the sideline, and then Smith came way over from, he's the safety. He came all the way over to the near side, leaped and picked it off. So the South has got to get a 1-2-3 kick here. They can't let North run some valuable time off the clock if they want to get back in it. They go to the spread. Rolling, looking, dumping it off. It's caught. A huge hit by Deshaun Anderson, but the ball was caught.
ladies pass complete to number 26, Cam Peach for the first down.
James Brumfield.
Will be first and 10 ball at the North 32.
23 on the pass play. He's caught 2 for 49. Looking to throw again. He ran into trouble, but he was able to dump it off. When he spun around, he ran right into a defender, but he was able to dump it off.
Saul Cespedes.
Well, they lost a yard. Almost 2. The ball's almost back to the 30-yard line. We're under 5 as they snap the football. Or I should say when they snap the football. Now, the little mix-up in the backfield. People hanging around. South is looking for a delay penalty. They go in motion. They took an awful lot of time. They handed off to Calvin Johnson. He's hit in the backfield and dropped. That play was doomed from the start.
Dropped by number 33, Matthew Solomon. Number 55, Brandon Coughlin.
There'll be under 4 minutes left when they snap the ball. This is a very big play. 3rd and 16 from the 26. And considering it's a 4-point game, even if someone had a kicker, it's not going to help them to get close. They got to score a touchdown, so they got to get the ball back and go down and score. Double wideouts to either side. In trouble. Dumps it off. Not going to be anywhere near a first down.
Ladies pass complete to number 40, Saul Cespedes.
Saul Cepedes of Methuen.
Taken down at the 33. It will be 4th and 9.
They picked up 7, but that's not going to be enough. South's going to get it back. So we get a timeout. 3:35, and now they're running it down, so it's less than that. The timer on the field is telling them, run it down. And they're still running it down. And they stop it at 3:17. So that's what's left. South is going to get the football. But they've got to go down and score. Zillin, the kicker. Or Zach Dillon, the kicker. High snap. Gets a good kick away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 38 or 39 yard line. .310. This will be it for the South. They have to go down and score. They go into the double wing. Gaskin staying on his feet.
With 30 minutes in, Gaskins on the carry. Game 9 on the play. Will be 2nd and 1.
He needed the 43. We have to give him the 42 because they didn't give him a first down. It's DeMeo, I believe, straight ahead for the first down. So I mentioned they had just a yard shy, 200 yards at halftime. Before that, these last two plays, they've had 230. So they've got virtually nothing in the second half.
Once again, it's Vincent Gaskins.
They give him to the North 45 for a pickup of 4. 2nd down and 6. We got the 2-minute warning. I don't know if I don't see how they can think they could run it in here. They stayed in that double wing. And they're staying in the double wing. They've got timeouts left. But they're killing a lot of precious time. Now they fake. They throw it deep, and they throw it too deep. Almost picked off. Matt Smith, who would have had his 3rd interception, was the closest one to the football.
Quarterback pass intended for number 80. Jeffrey Brando incomplete.
Almost dead even. 250 offense for the South, 249 for the North. But a lot of that for the South came in their first 2 possessions. Coming to the near side, trying to turn the corner, looking for a block. Stays on his feet. Good strong run. Gaskins with a good strong run. Inside the 35.
Gaskins around the left end to the south. Eager for a first down.
He picked up 11.
Ball at the 34.
He's got 79 yards. They give it to him again. Slips a tackle, stays on his feet, gets 6 or 7 more.
Vincent Gaskins again on the carry. Stopped by number 30, Matt Smith. Timeout on the field.
Down to the 28, he picked up 6. And the clock is the enemy now, 1:26 left. We're back to football. 1:26 left. They stay in that double wing, but as you saw, they can throw from this. Gaskins again trying to turn the corner. Gets a first down. That'll stop the clock. Five of the 6 rushes on this drive have been Gaskins. They stopped the clock. He got to the 24 for 4. 1:14 left. They have to get in the end zone. They give it to DeMeo. Straight ahead. Plows near the 20. Second and 6. They have to hurry. 45 seconds left. I thought they had timeouts, but they're not using them. Turning the corner. Gets out of bounds. I think he's got another first down. "34 ticks left on the clock." I didn't think they used all their timeouts. North trying to hold on, South trying to steal it. Inside the 10. Ski Gaston gets a carry. And we got a timeout called by the South with 17 ticks left on the clock. They got to the 9. "143 yards rushing, 143 yards passing." And those 143 yards came on the first 2 passes of the game for the South to Joffrey Ingrando from Matthew Mortellite from Linfield, 72 and 71 for 14 points and 143 yards. And they've thrown 1 pass since then. Actually, they threw a couple, but they were intercepted. Here we go. They go to the spread. Fans are up on their seats. In trouble. Slides, gets knocked out of bounds. Down at the 6. Mortellite with the carry. Timeout, North. So we got Calvin Johnson with 78 yards rushing. We've got Vincent Gaskins with 95 yards rushing along with a touchdown. We've got Joffrey Ingrando from Malden Catholic, 2 catches for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we got Matthew Mordelite from Linfield, 2 completions for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Everybody standing up. Here we go. If it's a quick pass, they could get 2 plays. They'll have to go in the end zone. They can't complete something, although they can get a first down and stop the clock. Rolling, taking off and running, and he runs it in. They kept backing away from him. Immortalite kept faking to throw the ball, and he ran it in. He rolled to his right. He kept rolling, and he was faking, and the North defense kept falling back. He said, what the heck, I'll take it and run it in. And the South saw the North score on the last play of the first half, and now the North sees the South score, their only score of the second half, and they score on the last play of the second half, and they win it 28-26 over the North. Gaskins had 95 yards rushing and a touchdown. Mordelite passed for 143 and 2 touchdowns, and he ran for a touchdown, and he probably should be the MVP. Jeffrey Ingrando caught 2 for 143. On the other side, Calvin Johnson ran for 78. It was Mordelite to Ingrando for 72. It was 6-0. Deshaun Anderson of English intercepted a pass. The South went 18 yards in 3 plays. And it was Vincent Gaskins of Salem going in from the 5. DeMayo of Peabody ran the conversion. It was 14-0. The South went 64 yards in 3 plays. And it was going in for the touchdown was Keone Gaskin of Lynn Tech. The kick by Dillon was good. It was 14-7. The North came right back on the kickoff, the first play, 71 yards. Mordelite to Ingrando. The 2-point conversion was good by Gaskins. It was 22-7, and then the South went 45 yards in 4 plays, and it was the lineman, Franco Abatessa from Danvers, in the backfield to block. They gave him the ball. He went in from the 2. The conversion, they faked a kick, tried to throw it for a conversion. They missed it, and it was 22-13 at halftime. Calvin Johnson is the MVP from the North. Matt Durgan making the presentation at midfield. Joffrey Ingrando gets it. He had 2 passes. His first, the only 2 completions of the day. He caught them both for touchdowns and 143 yards. And I might have given it to the quarterback who threw those 2 because he ran in the touchdown to win the game. But it was the South looking like they were running away in the second half. Calvin Johnson ran 40 on the first play. They went 73 yards in 6 plays. And it was Stephon Gravely going in from the 2. The kick was good. It was 22-20. A short punt from the South. The North only had to go 24 yards. It was the lineman again, Abatessa, getting his second touchdown. He went in from the 3 to make it 26-20. And then the second interception by Matt Smith turned the ball over at the North 9-yard line. It made it 26-20, in favor of the South. And it stayed that way. The North got the ball back, and they really pushed the envelope. They kept running with Gaskins, and they finally were able to get out of bounds with 9 seconds left. And the quarterback, Mortallite, rolling to his right, kept faking and pumping. Every time he faked, the defense took a step back. And they finally took too many steps back, and Mortallite ran it in, dove in the end zone on the final play of the game. And we mentioned the North scored on the final play of the half. South scores on the final play of the game. And it's 28-26, the North. The South, 155 yards rushing, 143 yards passing. They only completed 2 for 143 yards. 11 first downs. The South ran for 113, passed for 136, had 13 first downs. Calvin Johnson ran for 78. Gravely chipped in 16 and had a touchdown. Gaskin had a touchdown for Lynn Tech. But Johnson ran for 78 yards. He got them going in the second half with that big 40-yard run. And then North had everybody out of their seats, holding their breath, clock winding down, the last play of the game. Matthew Mortallite, remember where he was. He's off to St. Lawrence, but his feet hasn't touched the ground, I don't think, since he ran it in from the 6-yard line for the winning score. And the North sees the South steal it. On the last play of the game, the quarterback run to the right, and the South wins it 28-26. So we hope you enjoyed it. A great game on both sides, a lot of great talent, a lot of great football, and it was only fitting that it went right down to the wire, as I think they just gave Chris Carroll a drenching on the sideline. Well deserved. Chris Carroll, and for the South, James Runner for the North, had their kids really poised and ready, and they played a great football game, one of the best I've seen in a long time. And again, it's 28-26. The South gets it on the last play of the game. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.